What do you get?
Scent-wise, note-wise?
Getting a grapey. Back home for the festive season with La Familia.
Oh, no.
Benefiting greatly off that mommy meal prep.
Mommy's been coming in huge
Yes.
this Christmas season.
Mother, chicken nuggets. A plate of your finest chicken nuggets, Mother.
Extra skin.
Extra skin on the nuggets, Mother. I want to get to the thesis at hand, please. We want to put this idea into the spotlight that has been bothering us for like a pretty decent amount of time, but we haven't been able to put the name to. And it's the thesis of appointment gaming. Appointment gaming is essentially the game mechanics used to bring a user constantly back to a game every hour, every day, every week. And it's not so much a genre as it is just like a mechanic that is like permeated every genre of gaming, like now for like what, the last 15, 20 years? It's so prevalent now, specifically in mobile gaming.
That's where you see it on full display.
Yes, exactly. Now you'll find this mechanic, and this mechanic can be implemented in a myriad of different ways. Like just imagine like a casino. Everything you see in a casino is essentially the ways that they use appointment gaming to bring you back to games. I mean, think of it like a lottery wheel. A chest, stupid symbols that insinuate mystery and chance and surprises and rewards.
And it's heavily reliant on the idea of FOMO. Log in every day, log in every week, or you miss out on huge potential rewards.
Big,
you know what I mean?
big mystery VIP lottery box.
They can't physically make you come back to the game,
no,
right? But they psychologically engineer the game to make you feel like if you don't come back, you're making a big mistake.
You're making a big mistake.
You're missing out on those juicy rewards.
If you don't check in tomorrow, you're leaving a lot of gems on the table. Hey, free will, right? Free will. But you're leaving a lot of gems on the table. There's like daily rewards, there's weekly rewards, there's monthly rewards to keep you constantly rewarded throughout different spans of the day. God forbid you go 15 minutes without some kind of gratification. All of these mechanics are implemented to bring you back to the game at different appointment intervals. It's an appointment system. You feel like you have an appointment with the game, you feel like you have an obligation to the game. That's like your PS2 like knocking on your door and being like, do you want to play Max Payne right now? And then 15 minutes later your PS2 being like, do you want to play Crash Bandicoot like right now? And that's what we were talking about earlier. We were looking at a game Francis was playing and she logs in, she's like, I haven't logged in a week. It congratulated her 6 times. You're back! Oh my god! Here's a reward. She pressed the screen, another reward. She pressed the screen, another reward. She was gone for a week and it congratulated her.
A lot of the times, you'll see these appointment gaming mechanics, daily login, microtransaction, features in full-fledged PC games, but on mobile games, it takes the front seat.
Yes.
Like gameplay is often just like an after statement.
Yes.
And it's something that they need to have some form of gameplay. You know what I mean? So they do the bare minimum in terms of implementing like gameplay mechanics, and clearly all the effort is into monetizing. Monetizing the game.
Monetization first, gameplay second. And the worst part too is they design them to make you feel productive. There's a list of things you need to accomplish in the game, and once you accomplish all of those things, then you get a reward. And that is so tied to the attraction and the satisfaction that people get out of completing to-do lists in real life, right? It's just gamification. And the other one, the worst one, energy consumption.
Oh my god.
Every action in appointment games are tied to the consumption of some type of energy source or resource. And the exhaustion of that resource then incentivizes the user to either pay to recharge that resource or they have to wait.
Typically, the microtransactions are to purchase some kind of in-game currency, and it's almost always something like diamonds or gems.
Gems, something of a perceived value.
Exactly. They also make the quantities pretty high.
Sure, you're spending only $5, but you're getting 500 gems. These sounds, these visual stimuli. Remember when we were playing that one game when we were looking into this? Homesteads, the farming game? The visual stimuli was so hilarious. It was like when you achieve something, fireworks.
Yes, the simplest of tasks.
Fireworks. Everything is a celebration. Everything is a congratulation. Everything is gifts. Everything is rewards. Everything is chests. Everything is wheels. Everything is boom, boom, boom. Congratulations. Reward. Here's the thing that really cheesed me. Some games, to get you to install them, just straight up use fake gameplay. Yeah. I don't know how Google hasn't cracked down on this. These are games with like millions of downloads.
In some cases, tens of millions.
And the trailer is either lying or being blatantly misleading.
Exactly. There's kind of like two types. There's the one where it's purposefully omitting any gameplay footage.
And then you open up the game and it's Farmville.
Yeah. And then there's the other category, which is deliberately deceptive. Make it seem like the gameplay they're showing you is what you're going to experience in the game. When in some cases, it's entirely different.
These kinds of games, right? These games with this monetization first approach that utilize these appointment gaming mechanics really started to see a significant rise, and maybe they saw their birth with Facebook. We just did a video on Facebook, and this is kind of where I came across this piece of information, right? 2007, Facebook launches Facebook Games as a brand new way to like get people to be on their site. We understand social media is addictive, but like we need to increase engagement so people are on the site more, looking at ads more. We're realizing that our revenue is directly tied to how long people stay on our site. So Zuck partners up with a company called Zynga, you know, an upstart games company. I don't know what they originally started with, but they really got their start with Facebook. They went to the moon after Facebook. They were kind of like nobodies before Facebook. 300 million users were handed to Zynga on a silver platter when Facebook was like, do you want to make games for the platform? So Zynga like partners with Facebook to create these games for the Facebook platform. And it's like match made in heaven. Facebook is every day pouring millions into research to find out how to keep people engaged with social media. And Zynga is implementing the exact same strategy. How do we keep people glued to these games for as long as possible? And that's where like appointment games really started to see a rise. And the first one you see it, I mean, it goes without saying, Zynga drops Farmville in 2009.
Game changer.
It's a game changer.
So innovative. Like, today you can find hundreds of Farmville clones on the Google Play Store, Apple Store.
I have no idea how there is enough market space for all of the farm simulation games on the internet right now.
And they're all the exact same.
The exact same. Carbon copies.
It must be the largest pie for everyone to be able to get a slice.
Yeah, like, I did the research. And honestly, I didn't even look into it that much. These are the ones I found out just on accident. I bet I could find 20 more. Township, Goodville, Family Farm Adventure, Farmville, Farm City, Town Village, Homesteads, Farm Dream. This obsession with cramming as many habitations into the title. Right? It's like Farm City Village, Garden World Kingdom. It's like, why is it so many different, just different words for habitations crammed into one?
Like they need to just tack things onto the name to make it unique from another game, you know?
Because they're all clones. They're creatively bankrupt. Farm City Kingdom, Barn World City, Planet Agriculture, Garden Home Kingdom. Oh, my favorite one. Town Village. I mean, I don't know like how many are spin-offs of each other and like which ones are from the same company, but it's just something about the farming simulation category is like insanely lucrative. These games are so commonly centered around like industry and production. Factories, resources, energy. They're the perfect vessels for monetization because energy is exhausted. Refill the energy. Resources are depleted. Purchase resources.
You can also see it take shape in the medieval genre. There's countless like Age of like War, you know, like
it's just dudes in their primal urge to start an empire, and that's why there's 300 Age of Empire games. Empire City Ages.
Lords of Ages. The stupidest names. Weren't you bragging about having done 2 hours of wine research last night?
Yeah, but I know the names of the wines now, and I know the names of the grapes. Right? Being on the table is, I feel like I'm on training wheels.
Yes, you are.
I fumbled opening the bottle. Like, I couldn't cut the foil off. I couldn't pull the cork. I can barely aerate. I can't get a single note from this glass.
Maybe you don't learn about wine theory when you don't know how to open a bottle.
Oh, yeah, this is my favorite little factoid about Zynga. One of their high-level executives just straight up came out in the 2000s and said, we are an analytics company masquerading as a games company. They were fully aware of the fact that they were using games to analyze people's behavior and then be able to tweak the game constantly to make it more addictive.
It was like an ever evolving gaming environment, constantly adapting to the needs of its player base.
Yes, exactly, to make it more addictive and make it more lucrative.
Yeah, constantly evolving to better exploit psychological vulnerabilities of the human psyche.
And that's how these appointment gaming mechanics were developed.
We were saying earlier, like the initial groundwork for like gamification, like R&D took place with the Zynga Facebook era. Now there's probably a body of like established literature.
Dude, there are firms. There are firms that get hired by game companies to teach the developers how to implement and what to implement in their games to make them more lucrative, more monetizable, and more addictive.
But think about how stoked when the game devs realized they could literally charge exorbitant prices for like literally ones and zeros. Like they could create an artificial economy and just completely dictate prices, create perceptions of value where there is none. You're telling me I could skip to this level by just paying a measly like few real world dollars?
Right. 95% of people did not pay for anything in those games. Did not spend a cent. It was the 5% of players that actually had the gall to like spend money. That was the entirety of their revenue.
Not only that, that 5%, the people who do spend tend to really spend and spend frequently.
Yeah.
Once they're warm, you can upsell them like that much easier.
万ぐらいはそれ以上してると思いますけど。
You've got them.
That's like
Hook,
checkmate. Checkmate.
line, sinker.
Yeah.
Real.
If they bought once, they're most likely gonna buy again.
Exactly. And that's the crazy part too. Zynga called their like big spenders in the game, they called them whales, which apparently is the same term used for big spenders in casinos.
The high rollers.
The high rollers. Joining a game like Farmville or joining a game like Fishville or Mafia City, right? That was like, congratulations, you've just entered the like virtual petri dish. Congratulations, you're a specimen. You're literally a specimen. This was one of the first major steps in casual gaming. Before this, it was the flash game era. The flash game era did introduce casual gaming. People were playing at work, on their breaks, and then also incentivizing you to then use the platform that the game is built on to then pester your friends.
Oh my.
Hey, you tell your friends I'll give you 400 fucking tomatoes. Like, if you fucking tell like 6 of your friends right now, do you know how many fucking tomatoes I'll give you? I never played Farmville, so that's probably why I think tomatoes were a legitimate incentive for the game. These appointment games left Facebook for the popularity of phones. It was even worse, because your phone can ring in your pocket.
Yeah. Whenever you get any spare time, there's no like, you don't have an excuse to not play the game. You know what I mean? You can always just boom, pull it out, dopamine hit.
But no, once the games started getting the moms, that was insane. Diner Dash, Cuisinart Fantasies.
You got mothers neglecting their kids.
Yes, bro. Lollipop Bejeweled. I made up a lot of those names.
None of those are real.
None of those are real, but that's the kind of games they get into. The App Store is riddled now with games that appeal to that specific demographic. This was such a lucrative venture due to the fact that gaming for a long time was associated with children. Sure, in the 90s and the 2000s, guys got older, but for a long time, gaming was associated with children, which means the spending cap was way less.
Yeah.
Once gaming for adults became infinitely more mainstream, the revenue caps skyrocketed. The in-app purchases of simulation games pulled almost $15 billion in revenue in 2022. And then the in-app purchases of strategy games pulled $19 billion in 2022. These are multi-billion dollar industries. These aren't like $1-2 billion industries.
Well, I guess this gets a little bit back to how are all of these games carving out market share and staying afloat, right? Like when they're all so identical. And I guess part of the reason is the pie is just so ginormous.
With all that being said though, Dragon City looks like a very fun game. For sure. I want to breed dragons.
And fight them. Come
That's-
on, that's every boy's dream.
That's everyone's dream.
You're saying I can make dragons and then make them fight for me?
I'm actually down to rip some Dragon City.